Most men think the gut is just something they need to shift before summer. A bit of vanity weight. It's annoying, sure, but it's harmless. That's where you're wrong. There are two types of belly fat. The stuff that you can pinch, that's subcutaneous, and it sits on the surface, it's cosmetic. Then there's the stuff that you can press, the deep, firm layer underneath. That's visceral fat. And it's not just sitting there waiting to be burned, it's metabolically active, producing inflammatory compounds 24/7, wrapping itself around your liver, around your kidneys, around your intestines. Visceral fat converts your testosterone into estrogen through a process called aromatization. The more visceral fat you carry, the lower your testosterone drops. Lower testosterone makes it harder to lose body fat, which means more visceral fat accumulates, which lowers testosterone further. It's a death spiral, literally. After 35, testosterone is already declining 1 to 2% every year. Add in chronic cortisol from financial pressure, broken sleep, work stress, kids, and you've got a hormonal environment that is actively working against you. So this isn't about looking better naked. This is about not dying early. One of the issues is that most advice is built for 20-year-olds. The fitness industry has fed you the wrong playbook. Most diet and exercise advice is built for younger men, single lads with consistent sleep schedules, no kids, all the time for recovery in the world. That's different biology, different stress load, therefore different results. And what do men do? They attack the gut with extreme calorie restriction and high intensity exercise 6 days a week. The problem is when you attack it with that approach, you're going to spike your cortisol levels. You're going to tank your testosterone even further, and that's going to trigger muscle loss instead of fat loss. And it's just going to make the whole fucking problem worse. And then the Monday restart cycle kicks in. You know, you start Monday, everything's good. Thursday, cheeky takeaway. Friday, the wheels are off. Weekend carnage. And then you say, I'll start again on Monday. The cycle continues. Half the week undoing the other half for months, if not years. I've seen this play out hundreds of times with clients over the years, okay? The problem isn't your discipline. The problem is you've been using the wrong approach for the wrong body at the wrong stage of life. Belly fat after 35 is as much a hormonal problem as it is a calorie problem. Visceral fat isn't passive storage. It's an active organ attacking you from the inside. And breaking the cycle means addressing sleep, stress, nutrition, training, and tracking all simultaneously at the same time. So the 5 levers that you can actually pull to melt visceral fat. Most men try to fix everything at once and ultimately fix nothing. So here's a system. 5 levers, pull them in this order, and the gut will follow. Lever number 1 is sleep. Before nutrition, before training, before anything else, sleep is your first lever. Most of your testosterone is produced while you're asleep. Research from the University of Chicago found that just 1 week of 5 hours sleep reduces testosterone by 10 to 15% in otherwise healthy men. 1 week and a 10 to 15% decrease. I've been up since 3:30 some mornings because he's not feeling well. Life happens. But the target for you to try and get is 7 hours minimum. And that's it's non-negotiable, it's a baseline. You need to fix nothing else until this is locked. You can't build a house on cracked concrete. You need to fix your sleep. Lever number 2, hydration. Most fellas are underhydrated and they don't connect it to their inability to lose body fat. But the dehydration impairs metabolic function and reduces the efficiency of fat burning. So here's the formula I want you to follow. Body weight in pounds, divide by 2. That number is your daily ounce target. For many of you, that's going to be a significant increase in what you're doing right now. And the water needs to probably be a little bit salted. Sea salt or Himalayan pink salt. Start your day with a glass of salted water before your coffee. This one habit alone, you'll feel the difference in your energy, your appetite control, and your metabolic function. Lever number 3, protein. You can't out-train a bad diet. It's probably a true statement at 25. It's a very true statement at 35. Now, the goal of this is it's never perfection, right? It's consistency. Eating good for 6 months beats eating perfectly for 6 weeks every single time, right? 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight every day. And you need to try and space that across your meals. Reimagine your breakfast. Most people are eating granola and orange juice and thinking it's healthy because it's what's been marketed to them. Scrambled eggs takes 2 minutes. A Greek yogurt bowl with fruit and protein powder takes 2 minutes. High protein, actually satiating, not engineered to make you eat more than you need. Again, if you can nail that for 6 months, the body recomposition will follow. 1 gram per pound of body weight. Leave it number 4, resistance training. Now, visceral fat sits deep inside the body, and exercise specifically helps because of what it does to circulation, not just necessarily calories burned. Fat stored in visceral tissue needs to be released into the bloodstream before it can be burned. Exercise accelerates that release process. So think of it as unlocking the grain silos. Resistance training is the priority. Building muscle raises your metabolic rate. You burn more, simply just a rest, right? 3 to 4 sessions a week, compound movements, progressive overload, the basics. Honestly, 3 sessions for most people is going to be enough. You don't necessarily need a gym membership. You don't need 90 minutes, okay? I train in my garage with pull-up bar, rings, sandbag, and a barbell. You don't need a lot of time. You don't need a lot of equipment. You don't need a lot of space. You just need 3 structured workouts, okay? Lever number 5, zone 2 cardio and tracking. 2 sessions per week at a conversational pace, 45 minutes each, low intensity, steady state, the kind where you can still talk, but you're slightly breathless. Zone 2 lowers your cortisol, supports testosterone, and improves fat oxidation without hammering your recovery like high intensity training does. Walking counts. Walking with your kids counts even more because 2 birds, 1 stone. Get the family involved. And here's where most men get everything wrong, right? Ditch the scale for a while. Scales lie. They don't tell you necessarily what's happening to visceral fat specifically. Grab a fabric measuring tape instead. Measure around the belly button, same time every single week, and write it down. As your waist circumference decreases, you can predict with high confidence that your visceral fat is also decreasing. Remember, data doesn't lie. It holds you accountable. It holds you to a higher standard. Standards over vague intentions. That's the goal here. Also track resting heart rate before you get out of bed. Energy levels at 6:30 p.m. How are your clothes fitting? Before photos, yes, they're uncomfortable to do, but they're the honest data point you'll be glad you have looking back. Remember, motivation is going to fluctuate, data doesn't. So, what doesn't work after 35? Save yourself some time. Extreme calorie restriction. Cutting too hard spikes your cortisol, suppresses testosterone, and triggers muscle loss. High intensity cardio 6 days a week. It's going to produce cortisol spike. It's going to hormonal suppression, and it's going to leave you feeling exhausted and beaten up. The opposite of what you need. Programs built for 20-year-olds, they have different hormonal environment, different recovery capacity, different stress load. They've got no kids, different results. You need to build for consistency, not for perfection. Listen, the spare tire you've been carrying, or currently maybe are carrying, isn't permanent. It's not permanent. It's the current consequence of a current set of conditions. And conditions can change. You can change your conditions. You can change your environment. You can change your outlook. So, what do you need to do? You need to get better sleep. Okay, you need to prioritize getting into bed earlier. 7 hours, ideally, minimum, non-negotiable. You need to make that a core habit. Water. Body weight in pounds divided by 2 equals your daily ounce target. Little bit of salt. Start before you have your coffee in the morning. Nutrition, high protein, minimally processed, consistent, not perfect, good protein breakfast. Resistance training, 3 times a week is great. 4, okay if you've got the time. Compound movements, progressive overload, zone 2 cardio. 2 sessions per week, conversational pace, 45 minutes. Track your waist circumference weekly. Same time, same method, every week. The data tells you whether the system is working so that you can adjust rather than quit. You need to get lean. 15% body fat or below ideally. The hormonal environment improves just by getting leaner. Your cardio capacity improves. Everything compounds from there, okay? Those are the levers you need to start pulling. But let me tell you a little secret. If you are overweight, tired of what you see in the mirror, frustrated with how you're showing up, information probably isn't what you need. More info might not be the answer. What you need is a system designed for you, and then somebody alongside that system to call you out on your bullshit. You need to get out of your own way and start showing up from the front for your family. That's what this whole thing is about. It's about you stepping up. Now, if you're done with fucking around and you want someone to build that system for you, hold you accountable, and make sure that you actually get the results that you want from somebody who's been doing this for 16 years and has worked with hundreds of guys to do the same thing, shoot me a message and let's have a chat.